preparation for the D cut. I watched it and I think I absolutely loved it. One thing that stood out to me was the accent in the main character. And I don't know what it was about that, but that really interested me. And I loved that the film talks about not having to look a certain way to be appreciated by the LGBTQ plus community and not having to act a certain way or be like a certain type of person. Because we love to judge a book by its cover and say that person's this and put like labels on each other. But we don't need to do that because we're all just ourselves. I love that.
Yeah, no, and did you pick up on the fact that we were also trying to talk about creating safe spaces
Yes.
for our community, because so often people that are in marginalized communities don't feel safe, even within their own family.
Mhm.
Um, and so sometimes it's your community and the community that you create is where you can create these safe spaces. But I love that you kind of recognized um, Dee, the main character. Marie is her the real, and she's an amazing woman. She's never starred as a main character. She's actually um, often a stunt. She does stunt work. So she jumps out of planes and she does all this other stunt work. So for her, being a lead was a really wonderful opportunity for her that she'd never had before. And the story, where it came from, to be honest, is when we created our strategy room, like our idea room. I made sure that we had people from the queer community as part of it, and that we had a very diverse group of people from the queer community. So that story actually is based on a true story about a young person who was at university, who used to do. She at the time. Their studio was called Lesbian Haircuts for Everybody. That's what their salon was called, and they just charged whatever amount of money um, the person could afford, and it was really in the back of a bike shop. And so we took a lot of their story, and obviously we talked to them, and we had them part of talking to the writers and everything like that. And so I love that idea of really looking for these unique stories that are out there, and obviously dramatizing them to some degree, but really in the foundation, it's a true story.
I really like that. I also like how it talked about gentrification and how like the communities that we live in, we often like look around and there's like little things happening that we don't notice that it's gentrification, but then 10 years later you come back to your community and it's not the same. It's not a safe space for the people who used to live here, who made their money in these communities and had like a family here. It becomes a lot more modernized and we kind of lose that authenticity of our communities and the family that's here.